One of our local mission endeavors is called Reaching Avery Ministry, often referred to as RAM. It's based out of Newland, and the central teaching for RAM is when you care for the least among us, you care for the Holy One. I volunteer at RAM as the operator for the food pantry, and we put together about 150 boxes each month that are given out to the least among us who are hungry. And I find it interesting, sometimes when we give a box to an individual or a couple or a family, they don't always rush off. Sometimes they stick around and they start to look around to see what's in that box. And they're not looking in there out of a sense of greed about, oh, look what I got, or I can't wait to see what I got. They're looking around in there to see what they can do without. They're looking around in there to see if maybe they already have that item back at home and they don't need it, and they'll give it back to us saying, we don't need this, we've got some at home. And sometimes they look around and then they pull out an item and they give it back to us and they say, maybe somebody else could use this more than I could. Sometimes we're called to respond to the least of those among us who are in need of some basic assistance for some just basic everyday living. Sometimes that involves some clothes vouchers for the thrift store that belongs to RAM. Sometimes it involves specific clothes vouchers, particularly this time of year for children going back to school and the parents can't afford clothing for those children to go back to school. Sometimes it's somebody who needs to get to a doctor's appointment. Even if it's in Boone, they may not have the gasoline to get there, so they need a voucher just for gasoline to get to the doctor's appointment. And sometimes it's a voucher for the pharmacy for the medication that they need. Also, we give away diapers and baby food to parents of young children, and we also provide supplemental drinks and adult diapers for older citizens in our county. Sometimes the least among us just need the very basics. There's a couple that is frequently helped through the assistance program of RAM, and they come back twice a month, and they volunteer giving 2 hours of their time twice a month to the food pantry. And the reason they do that is because they don't want to be just takers. They want to give back. They want to give to the least among us. And sometimes the least among us need housing. As you may know, the winter months, not only are they cold around here, but the winter months stress and strain very primitive heating units that people have in their very modest homes and sometimes trailers. Sometimes they're based on kerosene source of heat. And sometimes these dwellings burn, and when they burn, because they're remote, the whole place burns and the family loses everything. So RAM has a practice all during the year of collecting household goods, furniture, beds, mattress, bedding, essential household goods, and they store that up so that when there's a fire, RAM is ready to provide those people who've been burned out with the basics of what they're going to need when they find a new place to live. Sometimes the assistance or the need is found with fuel, because the least among us are cold. Just this past January, it was an extremely cold month, and our executive director, Janet Millsaps, distributes assistance for people to have kerosene delivered to wherever they live. But the budget that she had for January this past year was not enough. It was way overextended with the requests that she had. And by the end of January, she was overextended by $3,500. And you, the people of this church, learned of that need. And you, the people of this church, sent a check to RAM 1 week later after you knew about it. And the check came to them for a total of $3,500. Thank you to you all for responding to those among us who are in need. RAM reaches about 550 individuals per month, the least among us, and you are a part of that. Thanks.